Father in heaven, bless us as we gather today for this meeting. Guide our minds and hearts so that we will work for the good of our community. Teach us to be generous in our outlook, courageous in the face of difficulty, and wise in our decisions. Thy will be done. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to call this meeting of the Hancock County Commission, February 28th, 2019, 2:30 p.m. to order. Roll call.
All Hancock County Commissioners are present.
First item on the agenda is approval of the meeting minutes from February 14th.
Move to approve.
Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. We could possibly have three presentations. There's a lady here from Charleston that needs to get back home. She was supposed to be in here by now. So when she comes in, if it's in between, we're not going to cut anybody off. But if it's in between, I'm going to step to her. Is that okay with you guys? Okay. So our first speaker will be Joy Reese from the Housing Counseling Program. Would you yield to her?
I would yield to her.
Okay. Come on. Yes. Melissa's from the County Courthouse Facilities Improvement Program from Charleston. She was supposed to be here on what did we call that storm we had? Winter
The
vortex.
Winter vortex.
So she happened to be in Brooke County today, and we told her if she gets up here, we'll give her a minute to speak. We just finished our one project, the renovation of the front end of the courthouse. So Melissa.
All right. Thank you. Do you want me to talk into this thing?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Hello. My name's Melissa Smith. I'm with the Courthouse Facilities Improvement Authority. And the legislature is responsible for the name of our agency. So it's a mouthful. Thank you for having me here. I was up here last year when we awarded the $100,000 for the facade on the front of the courthouse. It was that balcony area was basically getting ready to fall off the building. So we redid the windows too, and the steps, and hopefully it'll make the building a little bit more efficient for those offices that are connected to those windows. And I think we were losing all the heat maybe out through the windows. So we're really proud of that project. It looks a lot better too, so I like those. But now this year we are awarding you, I think it's another $100,000, right, Bob?
Yes, ma'am.
And it's for the HVAC system in the old courthouse. So, which is very important for the employees and the public who come to visit the courthouse. So hopefully it'll make for a more pleasant working environment also, and also for the, maybe reduce your bills to make it more efficient. But as far as being exciting, that one's not very exciting. So it's, here's you a new boiler or whatever it's going to be. I don't know. That one's not quite as exciting. But we've done a lot of work here for Hancock County in the past. We redid the old jail and turned that into the sheriff's office, made it usable. It had the old bars and looked like the old jail and wasn't a very pleasant working environment. So we did that a few years ago. And so we've done a lot of work here, and I appreciate you guys having me. And I'm not sure if you all know, but Joe Alongi, the Hancock County Assessor, is the chairman of our board. So we're really proud of that. And our board is made up of all elected county officials. We have 2 sheriffs, 2 assessors, 2 commissioners, 2 county clerks, 2 circuit clerks, and 2 prosecuting attorneys. And they're from all over the state. And they're all volunteers. I'm the only employee of the Courthouse Facilities Improvement Authority. So all of the money that we collect at the courthouses goes straight back out to county courthouses to do things like you guys have done here. So you should be very proud of yourself and keeping the courthouse maintained. And we appreciate you applying for the grants. Does anybody have any questions for me? Does anybody want to ask any questions? But and if you would ever want to email me, if you come up with something you'd like to ask me, just shoot me an email. But thank you very much.
Thanks,
Very much.
thank you
Thanks
for
for
working with
coming
us,
up today.
Melissa.
Safe trip
Drive
back.
safe. Thank you, Mrs. Reese. Joy Reese.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm with Change Incorporated. We run the housing counseling program. We also administer the home program, which is a down payment assistance program. In your packets, Paige was very kind to put information about the program and a little bit about the reason why I'm doing some public speaking today when I failed public speaking back in high school, which was just a year ago, right? Right. Okay, one of the order of business, I have to have signatures and comments from everybody, what they think about the program, and if they would like to see improvements, and if there's any redirection, and I'll take that back down to Wheeling and see if they do anything. All right? So I'm going to pass this out, and I'm going to start with you, sir. Okay. I also have a little bit more information. I have some brochures. I have some income guidelines. I'm not sure if she kept those in there or not. If not, then I do have a copy so that you can put, pass those out. Also some brochures, and we're having a fundraising St. Patty's Day Fest. So I'm going to do a little bit of promotion of that too, because every single dollar goes back into the community, keeps my job alive, and here, please pass those out, please. Last time I was here, somebody asked for statistics. You don't ask a finance person for statistics. Now, we'll say, you guys, Brooke County is ahead of you. You guys got to get on the ball. As of, let's see here. This is Weirton. You asked me about Weirton too, but I have Hancock County. How much have we dispersed in Hancock County since its inception? $1,093,3658. Over $1 million back into the county in order to have individuals in their first time home. And I did some statistical looking. We did in 2015 only one. 2016 we did two. 17 we did three. 18 I'm disappointed to say we only did one. And 2019 I got one, and I just approved of another lady on my phone right before the meeting. So we'll have two for 2019. We got to get on the ball and promote this a little bit better. I'd like to see more funds dispersed up in this area. So if you want to, they like stats. I like stats. Please pass that around. Those are all the individuals who have benefited from our program. And you asked about Weirton, because a little bit of Hancock County is in Weirton. They did 1,173,383.48. So, and they did three in 2018. So they're getting up there. So Hancock County, you gotta get on the ball here.
This is in our
Here,
packet.
pass that around. I don't need those back. All right, do you have any, one other thing. The previous funding for the fiscal year 2018, they got $181,977. Okay, that's not bad. That is split between the counties from Marshall County up here to Hancock. It's a first come, first serve. So whoever gets a completed application into any of the administrators, they will fund that program. We've been doing good. We've been banging. Funding for the fiscal year of 2018, they received $325,571. We are increasing because we are actively promoting this. It's becoming a stable, knowledgeable program that people are interested in, and we have real estate agents actually promoting it. We have bankers promoting it, and we have just as much promotion as we can. Okay? But again, it's first come, first serve. Whoever gets those completed applications in first, they can apply for the funding. Any questions?
So this list goes way back.
All the
Obviously,
way back. That's my history as far as.
Yeah, I was gonna say that,
It was actually incepted in 1996. That was
Okay.
before they started keeping those calculations. But since I've been doing this since 1994 in housing counseling, I knew of the program and I promoted it as much as I can. Okay?
okay.
Any other questions? The ones that are highlighted in dark are the ones who have completed the program. the deeds ever been released, and they have that extra money in equity in their homes, back invested. Any questions?
Nope, we appreciate your coming and appreciate all the work that you guys do for us.
Thank you very
And
much.
Change Incorporated as a group. Thank you. And you're more than welcome to stay, but if you have things to do, we won't feel
Need
offended.
the signing sheet? As soon as you're finished with that, I guess I could leave. But
Okay.
I'd like to hear. I'd love
Okay.
to listen.
All right, our next presenter is Donnie Tucker with the U.S. Census Bureau.
Good afternoon. My name is Donnie Tucker, as he just said. I'll just refer to him as Mr. Joe. And I work for the U.S. Census Bureau, and I live in Morgantown, so I drove over this morning to speak with you all about the 2020 census. I'm just going to do a brief, as I can, overview, because you got a busy agenda, and I don't think I have time to do my PowerPoint presentation, which would last 45 minutes to an hour. So I'll just kind of spare you all of that today. And I shouldn't say spare you because it is very interesting. Many of you may not know, but the census has been going on since 1790. And it's very important. It's how state legislations are determined. Data is used from the census in terms of, well, I'll just say, for instance, local housing. Housing, school districts are determined by that. Businesses determine whether they come to Hancock County, if they are going to come here. They look at census data and help you make that determination. I gave you all, each one of you all, a packet, and within that packet, there's some really good information in there. One of the sheets in there, it was done by George Washington University, and they did that for all 50 states. And you'll see in there, it's information about West Virginia and the monies that were allocated to West Virginia since the 2010 census. During that period of time, the state of West Virginia was allocated a little over $5 billion. Sounds like a lot of money, but it isn't when you start thinking about just 55 counties in the state. And that money has to be divided up. And that money is divided proportionately pertaining to census data. So programs like WIC, free and reduced lunches in schools, a lot of government agency roads, as we all know in the state of West Virginia, we would like to see improvements in that area. But all the things of that nature all derive from census data. My primary reason for meeting with you all today is to ask the Hancock County Commission if you all would consider partnering with the U.S. Census, informing, you'll see it in the back of your book, it's about 4 or 5 pages, what the census calls a complete count. And what that is trusted voices. You all are elected officials, and being so, you all are considered trusted voices. And what we want to do is make sure that we educate the citizens of Hancock County and get the word out and make sure that people are aware of the census, because it's coming April the 1st of 2020, and that hopefully they'll fill it out. Now, all of this is certainly as volunteer. There's some new things that are going to be on board for the 2020 census, which is going to make it a lot feasible and easy for people to do. Of course, there will be the traditional, you'll receive something in the mail. But aside from that, there will also be an opportunity for people to do it online by way of computer, on their phones. There'll be an app that they can go on their phones and do it. They can also call in. And as we know right now, there's about 10 questions to fill out. There may be another one. We're not sure yet. But they can do that. And the last thing, it'll be numerators knocking on doors, which has always been forever since the census. But that's the last way to communicate with people and have them to fill out the census. I said on that agenda, I was here to talk about jobs. And people are always interested in that. Yes, the census is actively hiring. Primarily right now, we are looking for, and there's a sheet in your brochures right there, we are actively looking for folks. We certainly will need enumerators, and we are looking to hire people from within each individual county for those jobs, because who knows better the county than the people that live within that county. So we're looking for those folks, and everything is done online, so that information there, They can go online and, you know what, there's a www dot, and then there's also a toll-free number to call, and they can call and get that information that they need to apply for census jobs. I would like to see the citizens of Hancock County, as the census says, be counted fairly and evenly to make sure that you all have an opportunity to get your fair distribution of dollars that will be allocated by the federal government. Census Day is April the 1st of next year. It's a little more than a year out, but it'll be on us before we know it. I'd like to ask now for an opportunity to come address you all as county commissioners, to address you all, and I can do my PowerPoint presentation to further explain the need to form a complete count committee to help the citizens of Hancock County. So, if there's any questions, I'll take those.
So we want to set something up like that. We'll just call your office?
Yes,
Arrange with
you can call me. Just give me at least a week's notice, so if I have to
Oh,
move some
yes.
things around, I will. And if it's all possible, it'd be great if we can do a resolution in regards to that, because that always looks good for the census and it makes good PR for all of us. So, yeah, that'd be good. And again, I'll ask, are there any questions? Okay, hearing none, I hope to hear from you all, and I'll be more than happy to come back to Hancock County and address you again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me.
Mr. Tucker?
Yes, sir.
Hold on. This is, I'll give you this. Whoa!
You're attached.
Rick, you're supposed to tell me that. Set something up.
Wonderful. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay. Back to the agenda. Correspondence. Matt Cashdollar, Advisory Committee Chairperson from the Montani Semper Liberi Music Art, requesting financial support for the 2019 Music and Art Festival. I believe Matt has asked, we have a matter of record of his request for financial support, and this festival is next month. So we have been yearly contributors to this. If you guys would like to make a,
I move that we support that in the amount of $5,000 for the Arts and Music and Arts Festival.
any question? That seems to have been our normal donation to this for the last few years since I've been here. I think one year it did go to 6, but all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. Item B is Norm Schwartzfeger. He presented last week, and we did make it a matter of record. And right now in Charleston, there is some legislation being taken up on some of the services for the aging people in the state. So I would like to table item B till at least our next meeting. Legislators finish this week down there. March 9th, I believe, will be their last day.
So moved.
Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So we'll table this donation for a month. And we have on the table consideration to approve purchase for 4 new cruisers. And I believe at this time we haven't got to meet with our attorney about the lease agreement, so we'll leave that item on the table. New business. Consideration to accept the bid from Prior Construction for the Gas Valley Sports Complex on behalf of the Hancock County Parks and Recreation Board. And what this is a dog park that the Parks and Rec want to establish down there at the Gas Valley Complex. And as you all know, their money is channeled through the commission. So we are going to accept Prior's bid for them because the payment will come through the commission.
I move to accept the bid on behalf of the Hancock County Park and Recreation Board from Prior Construction.
Any other questions or comments?
I'm looking for a copy of the bid. Is it in here?
Did you get that copy, Bob?
Yeah, it's not in there.
Yeah, I'd like to make note of the amount.
This is something that the public is kind of excited about. And they've had some prints drawn. This project will consist of some fencing, some water things, some disposers for the dogs. It'll be separated according to weight. They put a lot of time and effort into this project. And we're happy to partner with them on this.
Part of this project also includes doing the parking lot facility, which is located in front of where the dog park will go, but it's also used for the soccer field complex. So this is this bid here of, this is
the addendum?
this is the addendum.
I think that might be on it.
Okay. As I was saying, the parking lot is also used for the sports complex as well. And so this bid that we have from Prior Construction, what the park board would like to do out there is for the, not just the dog park itself, but it's for the parking area of the sports complex. Sorry, we don't have that in our packet.
I don't see it here.
Yeah, okay, we're gonna hold off unless we have the amount of it today. I'd like to report the exact amount of the bid. Mr. President, I rescind my motion to approve this bid until we get the price here in front of us. Maybe we can move it to the bottom of the agenda to see if we can find the bid in the email. We had copies of it 2 weeks ago. I don't know where it is.
All right. All in favor of rescinding the motion?
Aye.
Motion carries. I need Bob back. We'll jump to item number 3. Consideration to appoint an individual to fill an unexpired term on the Hancock County Parks and Recreation. This vacancy was created by a board member that moved out of the area. We had 2 applicants.
I move that we would accept George Hines for that position on the Hancock County Parks and Recreation.
Any questions?
We actually had 2 applicants we interviewed today. Both of them were good individuals. Lou Nagy was the other one. Unfortunately, we only have 1 opening, so George was chosen to be on the board, and we'll keep Mr. Nagy's application nearby in case there's another vacant position.
Okay, all those in favor of George Hines?
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0.
Number 2, did you actually?
I'm waiting for Bob.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go back to number 2. 4, 5, and 6 are basically year grants that we have to submit for. And we'll go one by one. If Sheriff Fletcher, if you need to comment on any of these, feel more than welcome. The first one is a resolution to apply for the West Virginia Justice Assistant Grant Program for fiscal year 1920 to defray the costs of some PRO officers. Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Any questions? Pretty self-explanatory. Okay. All those in favor?
Grant we've had and been working with for many, many years.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried, 3-0. The next is a consideration of resolution to apply for the West Virginia Justice Assistant Grant Program, fiscal year 1920. This is for the Drug Task Force. Is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. And the third one is a consideration of a resolution to apply for the West Virginia Victims Assistant Grant Program for fiscal year 1920. And it's termed as VOCA, Victims of Crime Act. Is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. Number 7, consideration to advertise in local newspapers and on the county website for restroom shower facilities at the Thomas and Run State Park Ground Camp area. I'm going to refer this to Commissioner Davis. He's been working long and hard with the Department of Natural Resources. Last week they met with us Friday. All 3 commissioners were able to attend, and I believe there was 4 or 5 people for the DNR, and they presented us with some good news. Mr. Davis, would you like to speak to that?
Sure. About a year and a half, 2 years ago, this sparked a lot of interest in building new shower restroom facilities at the Thomas and Run campsite. Not the campsite up on the hill where individuals can go in and rent spots, but it's where the 4-H and other group camps meet there. And we had many conversations throughout the last year and a half, 2 years, about how we could build these facilities. So it seemed that what the state would like to have done was partner up with us in building it. The problem is when you get into bidding out for the facilities, it's difficult that the state and the county work together on the price of it, because for the state to participate in it, they have to bid it out statewide, and they told us it would be cost prohibitive for us to go in, and for them to build or bid it throughout the state, the price would be elevated. So they came back to us and said, how about if we partner up with the county? The county looks at building the shower restroom facilities, and what we will do is, and they provided us a list of projects that they will put into Thomas and Run to show good faith that, you know, that we can work together in a partnership. So a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, I met with DNR, and then I got in touch with fellow commissioners, and Commissioner Schwartzmiller and I met with him initially.
Delegate.
I'm sorry?
Delegate.
Yeah, Delegate Schwartzmiller. We met with them a couple weeks ago, and then the fellow commissioners came down. And DNR has put out a list of projects that they want to do in Thomas and Run if we'll partner up with them on the shower facility. We told them that we would have to go to bid first to see what that cost would be. So this particular item here, number 7, is we have a set of blueprints that DNR has provided. We're going to put that out for bid, see what our cost is, see if we can do a joint project. But DNR is looking to put over $800,000 in improvements in Thomas and Run, and they want to partner with us. And this $800,000 is over and above what the showers would cost. So if you don't mind, I'll just briefly talk about the projects that they would like to do. They want to put a new slide in at the pool. They want to put a new roof on the concession stand area. Take public sewer. The public sewer runs along Route 8. They want to run the public sewer through the state park up to the camp facility, not this particular camp facility, but where campers and motorhomes go up on the hill. They're going to redo the golf park area, put in some picnic tables, and also run internet up to the camping facilities. They want to look at redoing the kitchen facilities inside the group camp, which you're very familiar with. The 4-H uses those facilities there. And again, this is in a tune of $826,000. We'd like to partner up with them, but we want to see what the cost of the bathhouse and the showers would be. It would consist of shower facilities for boys and girls, handicap accessible bathrooms. The facility itself, I believe, is 50 by 25. So we have DNR's provided blueprints for us. We're going to put it out to bid. We're gonna see what it's gonna cost, and if we have the funding and the cost comes in line, we'll look at partnering up with the DNR for that. Any other questions that you might have in regards to the renovations? If there are no questions, I'll move that we approve this to go out to bid and see what the price is.
Okay. I think this is a great project. They were very cooperative with us. They received a grant. They got to spend it by 2020, so we could look at having these things done quickly. They assured us. Doesn't mean it'll happen. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. That's okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
We can return to that item agenda, correct, Mr. Lucas?
Yes.
Okay. So back to item 2. We need a motion to pull that off the table.
Item 1.
Oh, okay, item 2 we have to go do next. You weren't here. I'm sorry. Item 1,
I move that we pull item 1 off of the tabled items.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. So is there a motion to approve the bid on behalf of the Hancock County Parks and Rec?
Yeah, I did want to explain the bid proposal. The parking lot improvements and the water line installation that'll be put in at Gas Valley is $27,150. And the dog park is $37,500. And this bid was put out to bid by the Hancock County Park and Recreation Board, and Billy Pryor General Contractor is the bid that came in. There was an addendum to the bid for the fencing of $7,400, and it was to change the chain link fence with a black coated finish, and that increased the bid by $7,400. So my motion is to approve the actual bid and the addendum part of it for the Park and Recreation Board.
Any other questions?
Do we have the total amount then on that?
62,050. Anything else? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. Item 2, we will go now that Mr. Vitus is back. Bob, consideration of a demolition order for 504 Jefferson Street. No,
Yeah, I thought Mr. Lucas would handle that while I was doing
They insisted you.
I didn't know you had the info.
As part of the Abandoned Building Committee, we've been trying for several years to get the owner of this property to clean it up. At this point in time, it is starting to fall down. One of the owners has passed away, so because we've been unsuccessful in notifying them by certified letter, Mr. Lucas wrote an ad that we've run in local papers to notify them of our request to demolish the property. What we're asking for today is for you to give us the right to do that. And as Mr. Lucas will correct me if I'm wrong, once you give us the okay to demolish it, we will once again have to run ads to let these parties know that we are going to demolish the property before we can put it out to bid it to demolish it.
Yeah, just to summarize, I can follow up briefly. The first procedure, of course, is getting notice to them. There was a couple of parties that we were able to contact by certified mail, others that we couldn't, so that, as Bob mentioned, went out by legal publication pursuant to West Virginia Code. They had an opportunity to request a hearing within 10 days from the notice. There have been no requests for such a hearing from any of the parties. The commission would now be free to grant such a request to the ABOC. And then if there's no appeal from that to the circuit court after that point, then the ABOC would then be free to go ahead and demolish the property.
Just to give you some idea, my predecessor on the ABOC, Chuck Savakis, and Pat Guerrera got flea infested when they inspected that house, which amounts to about 5.5 years ago. So it's been in decay for that long and unrented. So at this point in time, you can pretty much see through it from the front.
So with that said, is there a motion to demolish 504 Jefferson Street?
Move to demolish.
Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Finance. There are no exoneration orders. County bills.
Yes, sir. I have a travel reimbursement for Commissioner Cowie.
And this is a personal matter dealing with my reimbursement of travel. I need to recuse myself when I step out of the room so they can take care of.
You'll have to go back to B.
Okay. Karen?
Yes, sir. It's for 2 reimbursements. It's a total of $497.70.
I move that we approve the reimburse Commissioner Cowie for his travel.
Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 2-0. Next.
Is item B coming up?
We'll have to get it.
Okay.
It's like all
Oh,
in. The next reimbursement I have is for Commissioner Barnaby.
Being that as a personal matter dealing with my reimbursement of travel, I need to recuse myself and step out of the room. Don't talk about me while I'm gone.
Mr. Barnaby's reimbursement is $237.80.
Do we have a motion?
I move that we reimburse Commissioner Barnaby for his travel.
Any discussion? So moved. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
2-0.
Okay, gentlemen, the rest of the general county bills are $45,851.35. And P card for all funds is $37,551.96.
Motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Any questions? All in favor? Motion carries 3-0. Animal shelter levy fund and bill requisitions.
They're okay to pay.
Move to approve.
Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 2-0. 3-0. Library levy fund bills and requisitions.
They're okay to pay.
Move to approve.
Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. Sheltered workshop levy fund bills and requisitions.
They're okay to pay as well.
Move to approve.
Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. We need to back up to letter B, Office of Technology and Communications. Mr. Vitus?
As Ms. Smith alluded to, we have received a grant for $100,000 to replace 29 stationary floor-mounted heating and cooling units, and I believe it's 9 roof-mounted heating and cooling units in the original courthouse. To get us started on that, I would like to have permission to advertise in the local newspapers and on our website to get contractors to begin the bidding process for that work.
Move to approve.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. Okay, we have no callers. Go to the order. Karen?
No, sir, nothing today.
Mr. Lucas?
last Friday, Tom Hagg passed away. Tom Hagg was as most people know, is a longtime prosecutor, assistant prosecutor, and very much involved in the county for much of his career, which I believe spanned about 50 years, if I remember correctly. Tom was just a very straightforward, good man, and he will be missed. I got a lot of good advice from him over the years. He was never afraid to tell you what he thought, even if it wasn't what you wanted to hear, but he always did it in a way that was diplomatic, with no malice and no agenda. He just called it as he saw it. So blessings to his family and prayers, and may you rest in peace.
Mr. Vitus.
Although I've probably spoken enough, just in memory of Mr. Hagg, he, for those of you that know, he had a lot of physical struggles that he went through, and especially in and around this courthouse. He was a good man, and he will be missed.
Sheriff Fletcher.
I concur in regards to Mr. Hagg. Worked with him for several years. He was a confidant in many ways, and he made a good cop better. He expected you to follow all the rules, plus give it as much due diligence on each case that was presented to him as possible. He'll be missed.
Mr. Wright.
I grew up across the street from Tom, as a matter of fact. Joan and the kids lived there, and he's a good neighbor, he's a good man, and he definitely delivered a good service for the county. I was sad to hear that, I really was.
Jeremy. Weather's cooperating with you now?
So far,
Carol?
The fact that you're even discussing restrooms at the group camp, I said to Jeremy, he may have to administer first aid here if it goes through. So that really is an incredible thing that you're looking to partner with the state to do those renovations out there. They really are needed, and I know that every group that is out there will very much appreciate the improvement. So thank you for considering it.
Miss Valerie. Miss Valerie's filling in for Clerk Foley. Nothing?
No, nothing.
Okay. Commissioner Cowie?
Just my condolences to the Hagg family.
Commissioner Davis?
Same with the Hagg family. I met Mr. Hagg when I first came here, and sat in that chair many days and chatted with us. And he was definitely a man of reason, but he was a straight shooter. He gave you his opinion, and we listened to him a lot. So we'll certainly be missed, but wish the family well.
Same here. My condolences to the Hagg family. And on another note, I have our column under citizens' remarks. I'm going to ask Mr. Lucas to draw up a little bit of a policy of some sort, or memorandum, addendum to our thing. That the citizens' remarks at the county commissioners' meetings are now going to be made to agenda items only. We're not going to be a launch pad for attacks anymore. Would that be possible?
That's within your discretion.
Right, that's what it's in Code of Ethics says we can do that. Speak to the agenda items only.
Yeah.
Thank you. And with that said, our next meeting will be, I don't have our secretary today, March 14th at 2:30. With that said, no business to come before us. I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
To adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are now adjourned. Thank you.